Hi guys. You know, what I think about this rare donor stuff. It's so rare that I believe the way they are monitoring people, when there's only, 43 cases in the world? And how many are held in detainment here? Supposedly in Cuba? Cuba is not Cuba. It's just a jurisdiction, so people can't fight in a regular court. All right. So they've got 4 RH. We're going to just go through each one. All right. It's the Working Party on Rare Donors. Brazil doesn't have a national registry, so we believe that we probably have more RH null not known in the country. Okay, but it's only 4. Group A and 2 donors in Rio de Janeiro, Group O. Okay, you guys, when you see what it says about America, whoa. What special work is to retain these donors or recruit them for continued donations? Okay, in America, they're just putting them in detention and then taking their blood for profit. They're not asking them permission because in detention you don't have the right to consent or refuse any treatment, including torture, including other things. Sensitization of the females. One donor in Rio donated blood to a baby of the family, and all of them became very sensitized and realized how important is the donation. Mindy Goldman, Goldman Sachs. I just always look at the names, right? Canada, Canadian Blood Services. How many RH donors are there? None active. Not sure what that means. Are these donors? They would be if they had any identified. What special work is done to retain these donors? Retain is retention. It's restraint. Or recruit them for continued donations. We're working on tools, but, I mean, they don't have any, or at least they say they don't. Xianzhou, Shanghai Blood Center. How many RH donors are known in your country? 5. Are these donors in a national registry or database? Yes. If you're in a national registry or database, that means that everyone has access that has a certain clearance. You understand me, right? China, what special work is done to retain? The recruitment of these donors has difficulty. 2 donors always work in different provinces, and the other one just had a heart operation 2 years before. But they don't mention the other 3. They don't mention the other 1. Excuse me. Ina Saraneva, Finland. Red Cross. Remember, Red Cross is the only authority allowed to visit Guantanamo detainees. Guantanamo. 1 RH null possible regulator with no antibodies. She was donated once in 1988, not eligible anymore. I don't know why they don't become eligible. I don't know. We don't have a national registry, but all data of rare donors is in our database. She has been previously contacted many times, but donated only once. She has a twin sister, also RH null phenotype, who has been eligible for a donation. So there's only 1. I don't know what a possible regulator means. So she has a twin sister, also Rh null. Wouldn't that say 2? Okay, this National Institute of Blood Transfusion. 5 Rh null subjects have been registered in France. 4 patients, only 2 are still alive, and 1 repeat donor. Are these donors in a national registry? Are single Rh active donors included? France. Well, special work is done to retain or recruit. You can read this. We have convinced him to donate in a French city close to the Swiss borderline. International Committee of the Red Cross is in Switzerland. Okay, and remember, they're the only ones with authority to visit the Guantanamo detainees. Now, why is that? Despite mass screening, no Rh null donor could be found. This one document I found, it said PCR screening is the screening for this blood type. So I just find that odd that it's the same screening test as something else going on. German Red Cross. They've got 2 Rh null by routine serological methods. Now, I don't know what that is. By absorption or by a PCR positive for alleles, right? So PCR is the test. That is the test. 11 units cryopreserved. It's worth a lot of money, you guys. Rh null by routine. 8 units. Are these donors in a national registry? Burn registry. Probably in donor DGTI, which I think is the English registry. Future if donor agrees and can continue to accumulate cryopreserved units. Several units have to be stored. Clinical indication. Registration in donor database of Red Cross Blood Transfusion Service. Again, the only authority allowed to visit Guantanamo Bay detainees. You guys see a correlation. What special work is done to retain these donors or recruit them for continued donations? Donor 1 is informed about his rare blood type and donates regularly. Encouragement to donate will be continued. Number 2, encouragement to donate will be continued. It looks like this person doesn't know they're a donor. Do you understand? It's not saying they're informed. Mustafa Moghadam, Iran. How many RH? So far, no Rh null individual has been identified. Now, when I went overseas on 2018, they said there were 2 people found in Iran. But on this, it says that none are Iranian. But there have been 5 individuals identified as D phenotype registered. And then it shows patient donor, O, RH plus, Southwick. I mean, you guys, just because you're O doesn't mean you don't have one of these designations or be even a Kel or a Kid or a Duffy. Like, you don't know. Miscellaneous abortion. Okay. Certain people with this type blood, when they get pregnant and don't know it and aren't told, their body will, create antibodies to the baby. So they have to be told. South City of Zabul, again, this is RH positive, RH plus, antibody screen test negative, kidney transplant candidate, history of blood transfusion. Special work is done to retain these donors or recruit them. Let me see what page I'm on. I'm on page 26, so I'll go right back. I just want to see what year it is. It doesn't say what year. Go back to 26. Providing educational information by discussing their rare blood type and importance of continuous donation for their own. I mean, you can read this. Storing frozen autologous rare blood free of charge for possible future use by the donor. Occasionally, after several donations, the rare donor is provided with a gift card with minimal monetary value to cover the time off from work. Okay, but the value of this blood itself is worth billions, and they're not allowing the people to profit on the blood, because they need it for whatever. Information card on a rare donor necklace, donor name, donor center. Italy. How many RH? No RH null active donors. They're not there. Actually, no special work or policy is carried out to retain or recruit these donors. Dana Gounder, New Zealand, none. No active recruitment. Nil, not applicable in Singapore, because there is none. How many donors are known in your country? One from Group O and one from Group A. Yes, but originate from Western Cape. No special work is done to retain. They're retained by Western Province Blood Transfusion Service. Gifts of thanks are provided in the form of care hampers, fuel, reimbursement, or grocery vouchers, despite the blood being worth billions of dollars to the scientific community. But they have laws where you can't sell it. The person can't sell it, but the people stealing it sell it. The people getting it, they buy this stuff on the black market for $1 billion. The donor has an RH deficiency of the regulator type and an anti-RH in his plasma. No. He only wants to give blood in case of an urgent situation. Spain. The donor perfectly knows about the interest in his blood and the problems we have to obtain the blood with the same phenotype. He prefers only to be contacted when there's a patient who needs to be transfused. He was contacted twice in the past. Sweden, none. No program. Switzerland, only one. They have 365 donations. I don't know what this, dot is. This means 200 regular donors, 35 to 40 new donors. We've only found one D, D minus. No special work, I do not know. The donor donates in France. Netherlands, no RH donors. They'll be invited to become a donor. San Queen Bank of Frozen Blood. One, are these donors? Yes. The donors receive a letter explaining how unique and important they are. I just want to show you real quick. United States. O is not registered, and O has not been informed.